how many interviews have you done today so far?
This is it's been gradual. This is number two, so
Oh, okay.
not bad.
You're
And
not
we're
exhausted yet.
no, I this is not like sitting in one of those satellite media tours where you go to every affiliate or anything like that. So this is way better.
Yeah.
Where people just
Um,
go, this is exciting for Card Sharks to come back for a second season. Now, tell us, you look like you're having fun, and then I
it's
say something sarcastic.
yeah, exactly. And it's you don't normally look like you're having fun. So
Ever.
I'm glad they point that out for you. So yeah.
Joel, tell us your love about cards. When did you first fall in love with cards?
Well, I fell in love with a 3 and a 4 back when I was a second grader, and then, boy, I ran around with Jack for a while. He was crazy.
You got to stay away from Jack. Didn't your mother ever tell you to stay away from Jack?
Yeah, that guy, man. He's got that sword. He's got that weird boxy body. It's really hard to get. Ironically, I don't really play cards because I'm so stingy. I don't know how if you guys play. I play with my friends, but whenever I play cards, it'll be like, oh, the bet's $100, and then I start adding up what that $100 could buy.
Yes.
It's just not worth it. Not worth it at that point.
I'm like a quarters guy. I'm the same way. I don't like to gamble because just the idea of losing. Yeah, so I'm right there with you.
I'm friends with Phil Locke, the Unabomber, Texas Hold'em professional player. And I was just like, he's a math major from Amherst. And I was like, how did you know you were good at cards? And he's like, first time I ever played. I'm like, fucking A, of course. I was like, how? He's just like, I just knew what everybody had. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this is why I'm never, ever going to go sit down in a casino and try to play a game like that. That's why Card Sharks actually is wonderfully, it's like the simplicity of the game. It doesn't require that much skill. It just requires a ton of balls. And so that's kind of what I like.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, broad appeal for us idiots.
Yeah.
Right. It's like nerve-wracking when you're like, you think the next card's going to be higher than an 8? If you're wrong, you lose $150,000. So that's fun to me.
But hey, you're not sarcastic when they lose. You're genuine during it.
You lose, get out.
They probably should have went in that direction, but it's season 2. I mean, you got a season 2, so obviously you're doing something right. So, because how long? Go ahead.
I actually am genuinely heartbroken when they lose a huge amount of money. It's not so
sure.
bad if it's like, it sounds terrible, but with like, it's when someone loses 10 grand as opposed to 350, it is dramatic. And I genuinely am heartbroken. So there was one this year that is staggeringly heartbreaking. And there's people that win so much money that ABC has been calling, going like, what's going on? And but there was one that I was like, if I could hug all of you, I would, and if I could give you that money, I would, but I feel so terrible for
you. ABC is like, they're definitely counting these huge ass cards. That's the
ABC
only way.
Like, oh, too bad for him, he lost the money.
Shucks.
Now
here's our commercial.
At the time, I see your shirt and everything. At the time of this recording, this past Sunday, Seahawks had a huge game. That was I have Russell Wilson on my fantasy team, so I'm glad that second half turned around. That was
I had Dak Prescott on my
team. Oh,
I watched that happen live, and I didn't obviously when it happens quick, you're like, get up, and then that replay went through, and I jumped out of my chair.
Yeah, that was
ankles twisted. It's dangling.
The foot is going the wrong way, and it is. It was. I felt so bad for him because.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I mean, the guy was just he was like a piece of iron, and but then of course, they won and stuff, which is great, and I can't believe, what is it, the NFC East that has like
Yeah, it's
almost.
the worst by far. I mean, someone's going to win that division with a losing record, probably.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if Giants won that game, they both would have been 2-3, and I think maybe tied for first place. So yeah,
Wow.
it's bad. But I'm in.
I remember when the Seahawks were, it was always the NFC. They called the NFC West the NFC worst. And it always pissed me off because I was like, all people care about is East Coast sports, and we're the worst division. And Russell Wilson's, you're going to see. And then it all flipped because now the NFC West is so competitive. I mean, it's such a good division.
Oh yeah.
But then that win last week, I mean, last Sunday, I couldn't.
I know that was
Finals was happening, and the Seahawks. I mean, a minute and 56 seconds on the 4-yard line. Here we go, and oh my Lord, what a finish!
Yeah, what a Sunday. Yeah, and speaking of Sunday, not to make this about me, but I
10 o'clock right after Millionaire. Yes. I'd love to hear more.
I was actually going to talk about me. Something happened to me on Sunday. But yeah, we can talk about yours. We can promote your shit.
Are you going to a bris? Are you getting brisked?
No, this happened to me. See that? I got 6 stitches. Look at that. I hope you're not squirmish. But yeah, 6 stitches on Sunday. I think I was leaving as Dak Prescott got hurt, and I was like, "Oh, poor guy," and I was like bleeding to death. Yeah.
Was that a slicing something? There you go. Yeah.
Utility knife. Yeah. I was installing a door, cutting off the shims, and boom, right through the finger. I knew it was a special one.
Doesn't stop bleeding.
Yep. Oh.
Just keeps going.
So yeah, it was it was an eventful Sunday for sports and my household. So there you go. And also on Sundays now, you can watch a show called Card Sharks on ABC.
Bam!
Ooh, and another plug.
The shark teeth are so sharp they can cut your index finger open.
That's right. Maybe more than 6 stitches. So
I did that. I cut my finger open, and I went to the emergency care. But the woman, she deadened the finger, and then she took a hot needle and began poking holes in my nail.
Yeah.
And put the string through my nail. So I was going to bite my finger and held the whole thing on.
Oh. Ouch. Yeah, no bueno.
I filmed the whole thing. It was
okay. Yeah, you'll have to send that to me. Thank you.
On my Instagram, it's from 4 years ago.
Okay, I will scroll down. On Joel.
Time to remember.
Now you have not even speaking of, but you're on a podcast right now, but you also have been doing a podcast, Darkest Timeline. What's going on with that? I see you.
Well,
go ahead.
We haven't been doing it because Ken is the busiest person on the planet. And so the Masked Singer and his other show, I Can See Your Voice, both were shooting at the same time. So all of a sudden he was not available. And I was shooting Card Sharks, then Masked Singer, then I Can See Your Voice. So we've decided we're probably just going to wait until after the election when I become fully unavailable.
Yeah.
No, probably. So we were talking about it, but we're going to come back, and we've already started chatting about guests, and we've lined up Leonardo DiCaprio, Barack Obama. No, we haven't.
I was weary there. I was like, is he being serious? I don't know if I should laugh right now. But hey, you know, people probably won't believe I'm talking to Joel McHale right now. So, if that makes you feel.
I know Joel can't believe it.
And it's like, I know you're very intimidated right now talking about it.
Finally, my career's arrived, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Ryan Seacrest, Kelly Ripa.
Yeah. Oh, I did that two mornings ago, and I was so because I was so jacked from the game the night before, and so I always stay up because I got to do dishes and kind of button up the house, and then I have to watch 15 minutes of The Boys.
You watch it in 15-minute increments?
Oh, because I get so tired, and then I couldn't sleep, of course, and then I woke up at 5. I woke up. I had to do hair and makeup because I would look like Skeletor without it, and and they were offering it, and then my friend, I'm friends with my hair and makeup people, so they were like, yeah, we want the money, so I'm like, great, and boy, I was yawning like a son of a bitch all day long, but yeah, it made me want to go back to New York tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. I have to watch things in increments because of kids. So that's my issue. And Dave has to watch things in increments because of his attention span. So, we all have our problems,
Wait, how old are your kids?
10, 8, and 5.
Busy.
A little bit. Yeah, 2 of them are doing virtual school. One of them, he has autism, so he needed the structure, so we sent him back. But yeah, 2 are doing the virtual school, and it's been so much fun. It's been a lot of fun.
It's fun. This is anecdotal. I told this on Kelly and Ryan, but there's a restaurant right down the road that my kids love, and the owner, her name's Moira, or the manager, her name's Moira. She was like, yeah, I've had about 10 parents call just crying and just be like,
God.
"Oh, can I get a turkey burger? And can I get the wild rice bowl with tofu?" And then on my kids' Zoom, it was like a Spanish class, and the teacher was like, "How's everybody doing?" And the kids were like, "I'm having nightmares, and I'm stressed out. There's too much homework, and I can't tell one day from another." And I was like, "Oh, see." And the teacher was like, whoa, I meant, yeah, it was great.
Welcome to adulthood, kids. You know?
I know that people say this over and over about how these are strange times, but for a child, it's got to be so odd, especially like when you're hitting 8 and 10, and then you get to 12, and I got 12 and 15. It's this weird, it's going to be this weird moment in their life. It's like, oh yeah, and then we spent a year at home. That is just got to be.
Yeah. Yeah, me and Dave were talking about it, when this first started. Like, this is historical, this is, this is something that's going to go down in history, and we're living through it. And yeah, for kids, it's almost, I hope it doesn't turn into the new normal for them. Yeah. But yeah, it's got to be super.
Well, like with Zoom calls, there's never, I don't know, like for television stuff, there was always like, you're going to New York to do these things. I was like, I wonder if this will ever happen again.
Seriously.
And
yeah.
They're also talking about how, like, all the, the financial centers in New York, that pretty much everybody can do their work from home.
Right.
And
yeah.
So we don't need these big, huge buildings. So I don't know what they're going to turn into, like laser tag or
seriously,
like paintball fields or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I could do my work. I don't have to pay exorbitant rent. I don't have to travel into the city to go to work. I can just do the same thing from my house and just keep doing that.
Well, because they're talking about, these COVID costs are so much more for production. I was like, yeah, you're saving a hell of a lot on commuting.
Yeah,
so,
sure. Yeah.
Anyway, I'll just keep bringing up weird topics. This is vodka, by the way.
Hey, this is this is the show where we go in tangents. We don't, it's whatever. So I do my intro. I edit. I do my intros post. So don't worry about it, bro. Just go on tangents.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, Card Sharks. Speaking of, you got a show called Card Sharks. Did you guys know that? Another plug. But about Card Sharks, what precautions are they taking? Like, how are you guys doing it during this time?
Yeah, how did everybody get ready for the upcoming Sunday night premiere at 10 p.m. Eastern?
Well, how did we prepare, or how should the viewer prepare?
I'd like to know more about the viewer. What should all the viewers do to get themselves ready? Any COVID precautions they need to take?
Oh yeah, definitely. You should remove all body hair, including eyebrows and eyelashes.
That's a given.
However you're going to do it, shave it off, pull it off. Just make sure you are hairless, because you do not want to conduct electricity. I don't know how that works.
COVID, it's attractive to it.
How time travel, you can only time travel naked in that bubble, Terminator. Boy, I would say it's at 10 o'clock, so just stay up. And what I ask is stay up.
Keep your eyes open, and some excitement will ensue.
I don't know, a Fez hat, maybe? No, I don't know. Get your enormous set of cards for yourself. But yeah, I would say, just turn on your television or record it and then watch it the next day. But
now that's what Dave meant. What I meant is, you guys test the contestants. Shut up, Dave. Are they testing the contestants, I assume, and all that?
No.
Yeah, screw that.
No, everyone got tested for herpes.
I'm asking the typical questions, and I hate it.
What?
No, I mean, we did have a false positive test on set, and we thought it was positive. It wasn't really a false positive. It was inconclusive, but we thought it was a positive. So we removed. So there was this whole this zone, all these zones, and everyone was not. I got to go into every zone because I'm the host, and but
Card Sharks.
But they had they were like, you had not gone into that zone that day, so they removed everyone, retested them, and it turned out everyone was negative, but the system worked as far as like I never saw those people. So and there was there's very little contact between zones, so it all worked. So that made me happy, and I've gone on now, I don't know, 1,000 different shows since, and mostly game shows and one-off appearances, and it's incredible the measures they're going through, and it's great. It's way safer, than I don't know the federal government has laid out. So it's great.
Exactly. And there it is. He threw it in there. He did it. And and it's great that things are in production again finally. So that's good too.
They are
new content. So
yeah.
I did want to quickly mention how much I appreciated A Stupid and Futile Gesture. How in particular, I mean, obviously you played Chevy Chase, who you worked with, obviously, but I just have to say I was so glad that it was included. My favorite scene from one of my favorite lines from Caddyshack is, when he's doing the little putt and he says, "Thank you very little." And I was so happy that was in that. So I had to tell you that. So
I got to get mine in then. I loved Talk Soup, and then when it ended, I'm like, they're getting a new guy. And it took a long time for me to get used to you host. No, I'm just kidding. I loved the soup. It was incredible. Fantastic. Always hilarious. Every single episode. And I would be curious to know if there were any awkward moments with celebrities that you had roasted or made fun of. And the last thing I want to mention, my wife wanted to mention that she loved you in the movie Blended. You were hilarious and a douche. So I don't know what that means for me, but she wanted me to mention that for you.
I really like how you guys ask questions. You just pile them up, and then I go like, I'll take the last.
You have the one you want
first.
Yeah, what the hell, Dave? I told him one first, but whatever. Go ahead.
Well, thank
me and Dave fight a lot.
Thanks to your wife for watching me have a small part in an Adam Sandler film. Thank you. And I was no Terry Crews, but I got to play a jerk. Shocker. And thanks for watching The Soup. Those were the days. I cannot believe it's been 5 years that we haven't done it, but that was time in my life. What am I saying? Oh, and Futile and Stupid Gesture. Yes, that was the only scene, the Caddyshack scene, that I must have watched that 400 times. I mean, I literally worked out how many steps he took because I was so nervous that I was like, this is where people it has to look like the movie and it has to be perfect. That was the only time where I was freaked. Like, I was like, we have to make sure every angle is exactly the same. And,
And I was watching some they have like so many side-by-sides on YouTube people made of the movie and of A Stupid and Futile Gesture, and it lines up perfectly. So kudos to you, my friend.
I don't know if anybody saw that movie, but it's on
Netflix.
I'll tell you when I'm in good movies, and that was a good movie.
Yeah, no, definitely, 100%. And I do want to also mention Becky movie came out this year. Becky the movie came out this year with Kevin James. I have not brought myself to watch it yet, just because I love Kevin James and I know he plays a bad guy in this, and I don't want to then hate him. The first scene when it just pans down to the back of his head and it's just swastika. Yeah, I saw that in the trailer.
He plays a white supremacist. It is not a comedy, everybody.
No.
Kevin James.
I wanted to ask you about that. I mean, is that something you want to delve into more? Is kind of these drama / thrillers, or is that just a one-off?
No, I've been doing them. People don't see them.
I did my research, as you can tell.
Yeah, no, I did one called Assassination Nation where I played a very bad person. And
okay. Yeah, I heard about that. I still haven't gotten around to see it, though.
But then years ago, I did a thing called The Informant, and that's years ago.
Matt Damon.
Yeah, I literally am going to, I think the deals are closed today, but I'm doing 2 movies in the next 2.5 months that will be pretty, well, they're not wacky comedies, but they're all realism, but it's not necessarily a fun ride for everybody in the movie. But I know I love that stuff. And there's this movie I did with Carrie Bechet that was supposed to be at the Tribeca Film Festival along with Becky that has not been released, and that one is pretty wild. And so I hope, I love all that stuff. So it's the Soup was actually a departure from, well, I did the Soup because I was like, I wanted that job, but I was like, if it can do the same thing for me that it did for Greg Kinnear, or at least 10% of his career, then I'm going to be good.
Sure.
And so, yeah, no, I'm one of those, I don't have a bone in my body to retire. When people talk about that, I'm like, well, I was just like, I hope I die on set, not accidentally. Not accidentally.
Yeah. Don't want to the crow it.
By a, semi by accident. So,
Yeah.
no, anyway, so yes, I like all that stuff. And I would like to, I also like, people always like, what do you like, hosting or stand up or acting? I'm like, who is this? What is this world where I have to make a choice?
Right. That's, yeah.
know.
I mean, it's, you got a podcast, you got to, host, you're hosting a game show,
That's very unfair for people to ask you that question, Joel.
Yeah. What if I was like, guys, it's only hosting, everything else is secondary and stupid?
You would be probably like Alex Trebek and Pat Sajak. I believe those were their exact words.
That was it. Yeah. They each reached the $1 billion mark.
Yeah. But it's like, come on.
Well, when I go on the match game and I'm there with Alec Baldwin, I still get like excited because like Alec Baldwin's here.
Yeah.
I was just like, hey, acting legend, what's going on? And he's so fucking nice and good. And I love him. And anyways.
So you still get starstruck?
I do. I am always unexpectedly starstruck. I mean, there's the standard starstruck, like when I got to be in a movie with Steve Martin, with Robin Williams, and that stuff. Once I get to know them, then I'm like, okay, you can calm down. But I met Carrie Fisher in 2003.
Oh man.
I didn't even know what to say. Because I had been in love with her since I was 7. So I just was just like, hi. And then I walked away.
Hello. Hi, Carrie.
But she was like, I think she was my first love. Like that. I was like, yeah, she was, I was just like, I love you. I always have. And,
she is a beautiful, talented woman.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, like when I meet, I've gotten to know Russell Wilson a little bit, and that still is just like, it's like knowing a magician, like a real or a wizard or something, like, but who actually knows real magic. And so,
I mean, I assume you live in LA, but I assume you go to Seattle a lot still? Do you have a place there?
We do not have a place. But because I don't think my parents or my mother-in-law would allow us to have a place.
Sure.
For the first time, I think we might get one up there. I mean, now COVID's going to be, most likely finished in about 6 months. I mean, it's going to be a very long time. But
that's what we said 6 months ago.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're already vaccinated. I mean, in China, they're vaccinating people with something that did not have a phase 3. So,
oh wow,
who knows how that's going to work? But that said, yes, we would get up to Seattle all the time, and we would go to a couple games a year. Obviously, this year is different.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. But the Storm also won last week, guys. The WNBA. Yeah. That was, it was really good. Brianna.
I assume, I know we don't have much time, but are you a hockey guy? Are you excited for the Seattle hockey team?
I am. I don't the name.
The Kraken.
Right. Because at the Scoop for a good 12 years, when people had to take a dump, we would always just go, I'm going to go release the Kraken. And so, I mean, which is intimidating, if that's the direction they want to go.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, Seattle, I always go like, I I used to fight for Seattle before Microsoft they became a real big thing. Before Starbucks, before Amazon, Seattle was just this scrappy town that nobody paid attention to, and no big bands would ever go to. So you just would constantly were fighting. They were like, I don't care how much the Mariners are bad this year, you're going to get you in. So that attitude has never left. And so it's a very good sports town. Our MLS team, they sell out every game. Wow. So, and so I get very excited about them. They won the championship. And so what am I saying? I want a basketball team back, and I'm very happy about hockey. Even though I think the fighting in hockey is really still to this day is totally stupid. And because there's no fighting in Olympic hockey, and it's still the most popular Olympic winter sport. So what are we talking about?
Because Americans need the violence. We need it.
Well, it's a weird thing because they used to let people fight, even in the NBA in the 80s and in NFL, like people would get into fights, and then they were like, all right, if you get into a fight, it's going to cost you $100,000. Fights stopped, right? Except for rare occasions.
Sure.
And when they happen, everybody's ejected, everybody gets suspended. Even if you step on the court, forget it. And that's why there's no fighting. And in hockey, they're like, it's part of the game. And I was like, it technically is not part of the game. And
no, you're going to get arrested for this if you were anywhere else.
Right. And if they threw a really good punch and knock their eye in, they're like, hey, you are fighting too hard. You're going to be arrested. And like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, so, that's a 10-minute penalty instead of a 5. Yeah, right? Too hard. Real quick, I typically we talk a specific movie with a guest. I thought we'd give you, if it's okay with you, some some movie trivia questions. Are you down for the challenge?
Movie trivia questions.
You ready?
I am ready.
There are a couple softballs at first, but let's do this.
Where do people watch movies? Movie theater.
At home now.
Damn.
Get that wrong.
All right, second question. What are the dying words of Charles Foster Kane in Citizen Kane?
Rosebud.
Boom. Who played Mrs. Robinson in The Graduate?
Oh, what's her name?
Yes, what's her name? Yeah, exactly.
She died, a few years ago. Pass. I'll come back.
Okay. What is the first feature-length animated movie ever released?
It was the Sorcerer's the Disney one, the one with Mickey with the wizard.
You're thinking of Fantasia.
Yes, Fantasia.
Close. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I believe Fantasia was the second. In The Matrix, does Neo take the blue pill or the red pill?
The blue pill.
Yes, no, it's red, but I felt bad. For what movie did Tom Hanks score his first Academy Award nomination?
The first nomination. It's definitely not Bachelor Party or The Man with One Red Shoe.
You'd be surprised. But yeah, you're right.
Okay, because he won for Philadelphia. He won for Forrest Gump.
Yep. It was in the 80s, this movie. I'll give you a little hinty.
Look, Turner and Hooch.
No, not so much.
Man. I don't.
It's one syllable.
Oh, Big.
Boom. He did it. And then finally, in what 70s thriller does Robert De Niro famously say, "You talking to me"?
That would be Means. No, I mean, geez. No, I was going to say Means. It's the one after that. Taxi Driver.
Boom. And he did it.
And it is one moment.
It's parodied a lot. Yeah.
And Bancroft.
Nice.
Oh, he did. Oh, you went back.
Nice.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for that. And then,
wow. When was Snow White released?
1937.
And Sorcerer's Apprentice was?
Or you mean Fantasia?
Fantasia, I mean?
I believe 41, I want to say. 41, Fantasia.
I didn't do very well with these questions.
I'll edit in the year here. It was... All right, there it was. Say it was that year.
Question.
Huh?
What's one more? Give me one more trivia.
Okay, question. One more question. Let's see here.
While you're looking for that, catch card sharks and see behind me.
Guide Sharks.
Gotcha. Look at that.
All right. What's the next question?
For what movie did Steven Spielberg win his first Oscar for Best Director?
Damn. Okay. So he won for Schindler's List. And
His first one. What's his first one?
was he nominated for Jurassic Park? I'm going to say Jurassic Park.
You should have went with Schindler's List, my man.
Yeah.
They both came out the same year, though, so
That was a
you
good
were
year.
right about the year. All right, one more for funsies. Marlon Brando could have been a contender in what iconic 1954 crime drama?
Fantasia?
Yes. Boom.
That would be On the Waterfront.
Boom. He did it. You got like, I don't know. I think you got like a C, so you got a passing grade.
That was a 60%.
Pretty good.
Good stuff. And then real quick, again, rapid fire questions. Go-to movie snack.
What's mine?
Yep.
Wine.
Ooh, I love it. Guilty pleasure movie.
When I could bring it, I would just bring it in.
So it's what we do, but beer for us. But
yeah,
wine's good too. Guilty pleasure movie.
What movie do I pleasure myself to?
Yes.
Sure, that too.
What was your question?
Guilty pleasure movie.
I think
Favorite, which also could be a movie your pleasure yourself.
Right, I feel pretty guilty after I did. Look, I don't. Probably the Blade series.
Oh, nice. Worst celebrity.
I'll just watch them. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. If you have time, I mean, we can keep going.
No, I should go soon because I have to go.
Okay. Worst celebrity to watch a movie with.
Worst celebrity to watch a movie with?
Yeah. I know you have.
I don't throw somebody under the bus.
I'm just going to call him out. Daniel Day-Lewis. I've never watched a movie with him. Just assume.
Yeah.
Got to be a visual experience, right?
He's probably like, I could have done that.
Favorite genre, musical or horror?
Favorite genre?
Out of musical or horror?
Oh, well, probably horror.
Good.
Aren't they the same? Okay.
Yes.
I actually really do have to go to the bathroom.
I do too. Favorite Chevy Chase movie?
Oh, Fletch.
And then Spielberg, Scorsese, or Kubrick?
I'm not going to answer that.
Damn it.
But don't tell Scorsese or Spielberg I said that.
Okay, there we did it. And then finally, movie that made you want to get into showbiz.
Monty Python's The Holy Grail.
Boom, there we
Excellent.
go. All right,
Yeah.
Joel, we know you have to pee, and we really appreciate your time. Card Sharks, check it out on this Sunday.
It's Sunday, 10 o'clock. Thank you for having me, you guys. You're totally cool and nice and thoughtful.
Hey,
Thanks, Joel.
anytime, man. We really appreciate it. Great talking with you.
Great talking with you. Good luck with those kids, and good luck with not having kids, Dave.
Appreciate that.
All right,
you,
guys. Thank you so much.
Yep.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.